Hey, good morning, everybody, for Wednesday, the 26th of April. Glad those of you who flew yesterday had a reasonable one. I think it was slightly more than reasonable in some cases. I think congratulations in order to Andy and Gary for doing a 750 triangle thing. It wasn't. I don't know if the geometry was exactly a triangle, but also to George Metcalf, who turned Sutton Bank, that is Yorkshire, from Lasham yesterday, and also to Roy Pentecost that went down to Petersfield yesterday morning, and then went all the way nearly to Durham. I think just short. So yeah, some pretty epic flights in what has been a bit of a mediocre spring so far. And I'm afraid that mediocre spring continues because this occluded front is now starting to come over us and will introduce lots of cloud, maybe some lowering bases at times. And with that, unfortunately, no more real prospect of soaring. Don't know what's happened to the Met Office graphics this morning. They've all become a bit sort of linear. They're not sort of flowing as they normally do, but I think high pressure, as it was yesterday, it is sort of within our vicinity. These weak occluded fronts moving over us during the day, and maybe bringing some small outbreaks of rain, but more likely just lots and lots of cloud. The wind at heights is starting to now come round to the southeast, and as we look here, yeah, somewhere between east southeast to southeast, probably around 10 knots to 15 knots or so at most. Satellite picture over the UK shows a fairly grey start for us, and I'm afraid just feeding in that cloud for most of the time. Of course, yes, we have a fairly easterly wind on the ground, but as you see, once you get to 10,000 feet, it's actually westerly. So yeah, don't be fooled by the wind direction. So yeah, fairly cloudy, some brief probable outbreaks of sun, but also rain potentially too. Your public forecast for today then is showing a top temperature of 10 degrees, east southeast to southeasterly winds for most of the day. Good visibility on the whole, and that wind slackening off later in the day. No real other significant weather. I'm afraid tomorrow does look a bit wetter in the afternoon. GFS predicts temperatures of 10 to 11 degrees. It won't probably feel like that in that cool easterly breeze, and dew point of around 5. I don't have any Lasham stats or cameras today, as unfortunately they're still suffering a bit of a power issue over there. But Odium is currently reporting 7 degrees, dew point of 3. Cavo K, which is, if I look out the window now, yes, that would be Cavo K, because of course Cavo K doesn't mean the sky is completely clear, it just means it's clear below 5,000 feet. So yeah, I think we're going to see bits of low cloud drift in during the day, but on the whole, looking like we should have a reasonable day, at least 3,000 to 4,000 foot cloud base with isolated patches of lower stuff. Farnborough reporting similar, and if you were to take Top Meteo, you'd believe it could get soarable. I think they're probably on the optimistic side, like they were yesterday. But if we look at 11 o'clock or so, yeah, that's sort of saying that you might get some embedded cumulus up to maybe 3,000 to 3,500 feet. And I think that is possible. The area is unstable, but it being this good, I think is not particularly likely. But this would suggest that you would get cloud bases eventually of 3,500 to 4,000 feet. Let's just moderate that with SkySight, because I know SkySight generally has a more realistic view on things. And as we look in our area at 2 o'clock, it looks like, yeah, you could get some thermals up to 3,000 feet, but not much more than that. And if I'm honest, looking at thermal strengths, fairly weak at maybe 1 to 2 knots. To our west, slightly worse, more chance of rain. To our northwest, similar, probably better in northern and eastern parts of the country, where there's probably more breaks in the cloud. Because yeah, that cloud sat over us for most of the day is going to sit probably at around 3,000 feet or so. Site forecast then for today, and if I just put that there to load, yeah, weak to moderate thermals up to 3,500 feet at most above sea level, and yeah, on the whole, a bit of mid-level cover and fair amounts of cloud. So that would suggest that it's quite obvious that we're not going to get to what top meteo suggests. And yeah, freezing level, probably similar to yesterday, so potentially below 5,000 feet. Cool. Don't think there's too much more to say on that. Good training day though. It won't be quite so busy as yesterday. Airspace wise, 36 west on the green is active. 35, which is just to the west of Bryce, is not a factor for us. Salisbury Plain danger areas are active, and in particular, Salisbury Plain danger area, Everley active up to 4,000 feet for the entirety of today. So that's all Salisbury Plain danger areas active. 23, 22, 21 are all probably military NOTAMs, which we don't need to worry about, which is correct. So, yeah, excellent. One thing also to note is that next month, Keevil, which is the little airfields just to the west of the northwest of the Salisbury Plain danger area, where Banner Down Gliding Club are based, the new danger area will be established by NOTAM from next month onwards. It's a bit contentious that, but it has been approved, so it will be going into place, and we will be briefing them in these NOTAMs. And if you don't already subscribe, do subscribe to the CAA Skywise updates, because it provides lots of information about airspace, regulatory changes and things like that, which may appear fairly boring, but it's easier than having an infringement. Good. Okay. Well, operationally today we are runway 09. Probably have the cables going towards the panhandle. Aero towing on the runway that way. No jet movements as far as I'm aware at the moment. We've got a third country aircraft that is wanting to get airborne, but at the moment not getting any permissions as such. So yeah, there could be a jet movement this afternoon, but I think it's unlikely this morning. And yep, other than that, yep, grab the kit out. We'll see what we get out today. Bye for now.